Go to Jack Cafferty. He's not always that diplomatic. One day he says the U.S. is a deadbeat. The next day he says the U.S. is generous. We're talking about Ban Ki-moon.
Why don't they take the UN and put it in Ban Ki-moon's backyard and let him, you know, we pay for it, we maintain. I mean, come on, wear me out. And that shark didn't attack anybody, by the way. He was curious. You got 4 guys with spear guns. Can't you wait for something a little more aggressive before you start just killing this thing because it swims over to see what you're up to? I'm really annoyed by that story. South Carolina's Republican governor has become the nation's first to reject some of the economic stimulus money. Mark Sanford says he'll turn down about $700 million of his state's $2.8 billion share unless Washington lets him use it to pay down the debt. He says the money would harm his state's residents in the long run by increasing the federal budget deficit and building expectations for government programs that cannot be sustained. Funny, isn't it? Seems to me like the people in South Carolina are hurting quite a bit right at the present time. The state has the second highest unemployment rate in the country, having shed many jobs in manufacturing, tourism, construction, and retail. Its unemployment rate is 10.4%. second only to the state of Michigan. Governor Sanford's one of several Republican governors who have criticized the $787 billion stimulus plan. However, other governors from both parties have said they would take any money that these states rejected. And in the end, Sanford's move is largely symbolic because the state legislatures can override governors and take the money anyway. South Carolina Congressman James Clyburn, who's a Democrat, is blasting Sanford for rejecting the money that could help residents of South Carolina. Clyburn says Sanford, quote, will sleep well at night because he has improved his conservative record and raised his national profile, unquote. Probably worth a mention is the fact that Sanford's seen as a potential GOP presidential candidate in 2012. Hey, with all the warm, fuzzy sympathy that he's displaying for the hard-pressed people in his own state of South Carolina, I wonder how he was ever elected governor. Here's the question. What message does South Carolina's governor send by rejecting the stimulus money? Go to CNN.com/Cafferty file and post a comment on my blog. Wolf.
Thank you, Jack. You see 3 of those divers tomorrow on CNN's American Morning, and maybe they'll be asked the question you raised.
I ain't going to set my alarm.
Okay, Jack. Thank you. Stand by. We'll get back to you shortly. Always want to be precise. Jack Cafferty here once again with the Cafferty File. Jack.
Wolf, the question this hour, well, there are 2, actually. The first one is what message does South Carolina's governor send by rejecting the stimulus money? J.C. writes he's more concerned with proving that the Republicans are right than he is with helping the poor people in the state of South Carolina. Michael, in South Carolina, I live here. The unemployment rate, one of the highest in the country. We have the poorest, most outdated schools in the U.S. Governor Sanford would rather watch the poor people in his state suffer and just pursue his political aspirations. Stacy in Leesburg, Virginia, congratulations, Governor Sanford. You strut around like an ideological rooster in a broken farm and proclaim that your party is more important than your people. South Carolina is rife with poverty, and poor education consumes your youth, while unemployment continues to rise. Your brain is writing dogmatic checks that your real-world tush will pay for come election time. Earlier, I expressed a certain amount of disgust at what I viewed as some gratuitous video of 4 guys with spear guns killing a shark who appeared guilty of nothing more than swimming up out of curiosity to see what they were doing. A lot of you responded to my outrage and wrote some of these emails. Kristen in Washington, D.C., I'm with you. Those divers killed that shark needlessly. Thank you for stating so passionately what we are all feeling. Eileen in Florida writes, thank you so much for your comments on the shark video. You expressed my feelings exactly. What a selfish waste of a life of a beautiful, unthreatening creature just to be able to make a video. Some people just don't get it. Sue in Mississippi, thanks, Jack, for your comment on the 4 divers who killed that tiger shark. If the shark just swam close to them, that does not qualify as an attack. Also, after they shot it the first time, why did they shoot it 6 more times and then spend 2 hours killing it? That sounds a lot more like sport than self-defense. It makes me sick. Diane in Virginia, thanks for your comments. Ari the tiger shark, I'm outraged. Humans interfere in the shark's territory. Due to the shark's curiosity, humans kill it. Dreadful. We need to allow animals to live and let live and be themselves. At times like this, I'm ashamed of my own species. Mike in Naples, Florida, if you saw that shark, Jack, you would pee in your pants. And John in Missouri writes, Jack, set your alarm on those divers, and when they show up at CNN tomorrow morning, shoot them with a spear gun. You can claim you were worried they were going to attack Wolf. I strongly agree with your sentiment. If you didn't see your email here, I'd save you, Wolf.
Thank you.
Go to my blog at CNN.com. slash Cafferty file. I mean, we're going around, we just go around and kill things, and it bothers me.
Yeah,
I hunted
see.
when I was a kid, but I watched that video, and it's disgusting.
And you gave some good material to John Roberts and Kieran Chetry. They're going to be interviewing those divers on American Morning tomorrow morning, and I think they got some good questions to ask. Thanks to you, Jack.
Yeah, and thanks to our viewers. They seem to agree.